You think you know history? Imagine a book. A book so powerful it could decide your fate. A book whose judgment was as final as God's. For nearly 1,000 years, we've been told William the Conqueror's Domesday Book is the most complete survey of a nation ever created. An incredible snapshot of 11th century England, detailing every village, every pig, every plough. It's the bedrock of English history. But what if its true power lies not in what it shows you, but in what it hides? What if this cornerstone of history is a carefully crafted lie, with entire cities and inconvenient truths deliberately erased from its pages? Today, we are going to peel back the parchment and expose the secrets of the Domesday Book. First, let's be clear about what this thing was. Forget the dusty image of a historical census. The Domesday Book, commissioned in 1095, was a terrifyingly efficient 11th century surveillance machine. After conquering England in 1066, William needed to know exactly what he now owned, who lived there, and, most importantly, how much he could tax them. His royal commissioners spread out across the land, armed with a list of questions that would make a modern spy agency blush. They went to every county, every hundred, every village, and put the local people under oath to reveal everything. Who owns this land now? Who owned it before the conquest? How many people live here? How many ploughs, mills, and fish ponds? How many cows, sheep, and pigs? Nothing was too small. No one could hide. The book's name itself comes from the Day of Doom, the biblical Day of Judgment. Because its findings were absolute and could not be appealed, it was the law written in ink. A perfect, comprehensive record of a kingdom, right? Well, that's the official story. But as soon as you open it, you're confronted with a shocking central flaw. A deliberate black hole right at the heart of history. The two most powerful, wealthy, and important cities in the entire kingdom are almost completely missing. Winchester, the ancient capital of Wessex and the site of the royal treasury. And London, already the largest and most commercially dominant city in England. They're just not there. A few scattered mentions of properties outside their walls. But of the cities themselves, their populations, their immense wealth, nothing. Silence. This isn't a lost page, it's not a mistake. It's a deliberate erasure. And once you see that gap, you start to see all the others. You realize the Domesday Book isn't just a survey, it's a story. And its most important chapters are the ones that were never written. So, let's uncover the truth by exploring the three types of erasures that define the book's real purpose. First, we have the phantom cities. Why erase London and Winchester? To hide them? No. It was the exact opposite. Their absence wasn't a sign of their weakness, but of their incredible strength. These cities were so powerful, so politically complex, and so crucial to William's reign that they couldn't be subjected to the same brutal, one-size-fits-all survey as a tiny farming village. Think of it this way. The Domesday Survey was an act of subjugation. It was William reminding every landowner in England that he was the ultimate landlord. But London and Winchester likely negotiated their own terms. Their omission from the book is like a political treaty written in invisible ink. They probably agreed to pay a huge lump sum tax directly to the crown in exchange for maintaining their ancient rights, their complex legal systems, and their commercial freedom. Surveying them street by street would have been a logistical nightmare and a political powder keg. So, William made a deal. He got his money, the cities kept their status, and the book preserved a silence that spoke volumes about the delicate balance of power in the newly conquered kingdom. Next, we journey north to uncover a much darker kind of erasure, the scorched earth. If the silence on London was about power, the entries for the north of England are about punishment. In the years after the conquest, the north was a hotbed of rebellion against Norman rule. William's response was savage and absolute. It's known as the harrying of the North. From 1069 to 1070, his armies marched through Yorkshire and the surrounding lands, burning villages, slaughtering livestock, and destroying food stores. Chroniclers at the time wrote of utter devastation and a famine so severe that people resorted to cannibalism. Now, look at the Domesday Book, written 15 years later. The horror of that event is codified into law. Page after page for Yorkshire is filled with a single chilling Latin word: wasta, waste, wasta, wasta, wasta. It's repeated over and over again. This land is waste. This village is waste. This manor is worthless. The book isn't just recording a lack of economic value, it's recording a warning. It's William the Conqueror engraving his brutality into the official permanent record of the nation. He's saying, "This is what happens when you defy me. Your land will be worthless. Your existence will be erased." It's a brutal warning, codified into law, a scar left on the pages of history for all to see. Finally, there's the most mysterious erasure of all: the ghost resistance. Throughout the Domesday Book, there are entries for places that seem to have vanished. Villages that are recorded but appear to have few or no people. Other settlements mentioned in earlier charters simply don't appear at all. Now, some of these could be clerical errors or places that declined naturally. But what if some of them represent something else? What if they represent a quiet, desperate form of defiance? Imagine you're a Saxon farmer. Your lord has been killed or replaced. A new foreign king is sending his men to count your every possession so he can tax you for it. You can't fight his armies, so what do? You leave. You and your entire village pack up what you can carry and disappear into the forests, the fens, or the hills. You become ghosts. You can't be counted if you can't be found. By abandoning your land, you deny the conqueror his prize. You refuse to be a number in his great book. It's an act of passive resistance, a silent protest against an overwhelming force. These lost villages might not be mistakes in the record. They might be the footprints of people who chose to be erased from the conqueror's world rather than live in it on his terms. So, what does this all mean? It means the Domesday Book is not the perfect, objective record we've been told it is. It's a story written by the victor for the victor's purpose. It's a tool of control, a weapon of intimidation, and a political document where the silences speak far, far louder than the words. These gaps aren't mistakes. They are the echoes of power, punishment, and defiance. They prove that the most important parts of history are often the ones deliberately left unwritten. And that challenges all of us to look at the histories we read today and ask the most important question of all: what's missing? If you enjoyed this journey into history's hidden truths, subscribe and turn on notifications for more explorations of our past's greatest mysteries. What are your theories on the Domesday Book's omissions? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We read every one.